welcome to this video. Pop the kettle and grab your cup of tea. In this video, we are going to be planting up our very own show garden worthy border. So every show garden begins with a trip to the nursery. I happened to be out this direction because I needed to drop back my nuke box for the bees. And it was only a few miles away, so it would be an absolute sin not to go to Tully Nurseries. Today I am buying perennials because I do have lots of annual seeds in the greenhouse. So to get this border going in the front, I'm going to be getting a mix of perennials. I did get a tree as well, a little one. But anyway, any excuse to walk around with a trolley in a plant nursery. I like it here because it's nice and calm. Although it looks like it's trade only, normal customers like myself and yourself can go in and buy. I know sometimes when you go into these places it can look a bit intimidating and like, am I supposed to be here? But yes, normal retail people like us can go in and buy. Okay, it is a bit windy, but time for a little plant haul. I'm going to do this as quick as I can because I'm afraid that all you're going to hear is a load of wind. So, in the box I have 3 nice juicy Erigeron, and I'm going to be planting all of this up here. Have my cup of tea. I have 3 foxgloves, and they're in like a pinky kind of shade. And if we look over here, I have some wild ones that grew themselves. They're self-seeders. So I'm hoping these lads will seed around too. In here I have Verbascum dark eyes. It's not the Verbascum Clementine that was at Chelsea, but it's similar. I have an Amelanchier here for height. That was only 20 quid. And I have Geranium. Oh, I think it's crane's bill, but this is one that grows tall. And then I have, oh, what are these guys? Hang on. These big, tall, kind of berry colour, rusty colour, no, burgundy. These are Penstemon, and I'll take a picture of my receipt that has all the proper names on them. I also got 2 Jack Frost Brunners for pots at the side. So already in the side border I have lots of sweet peas. I have some gladiola bulbs that I rescued from, they were already in a corner here. I have some achillea that I planted about a month ago. I've got Erigeron wallflower and some of the cosmos that I grew from seed. So I love Erigeron because I have Erigeron in these barrels over here, and they literally flower forever. So that's why I wanted to pick up some more. I have some geums. Then I have a hydrangea over there. I can't remember. It's the one paniculata, I think. So this is where I have lots of gap and where I want to but I want to do taller plants so I can add screening. For anybody who is new, or if you haven't been at the channel for a while, here's a little catch up. This is what the square patch of grass in the front was looking like. A couple of weeks back, I think it was mid-April, I got raised beds built and they are double height. My main goal for this front garden section is to, well, A, have more room for plants, but I wanted to provide screening and also something nice to look at. So my living room is positioned at the front of the house, and when I look out, I could just see road and I wanted to look out my window and see plants, but I also wanted to pick plants that would give a bit of screening. So I didn't want to do a big hedge, a big thick junky hedge. I didn't want that kind of privacy screening. I still wanted to kind of see, so I've gone for that lovely whimsical planting that I saw at Chelsea and as well at Bloom. So if you missed any flower shows, I have 2 videos. I've got a Chelsea vlog and I have some footage from Bloom that went up on Thursday. So of course I came back from all of the flower shows feeling inspired, and yeah, I wanted to add height, but I didn't necessarily want anything, I don't know, too clunky to block. Like, I didn't want a big laurel hedge is what I'm trying to say. A tree that I have wanted for ages and is perfect for small gardens. Now, you could trim this and keep it kind of like shrub size. You don't have to let it go big. I think this gets 2 meters in height. That's how big it goes. And it's an Amelanchier. I am not sure if I am correctly saying that. Amelanchier, but it's great for small gardens. I remember a couple of years ago actually at Bloom, I was chatting to a designer and she had a full size one in her show garden, and it was beautiful because you can kind of see through it. It's not a thick tree, so you can see that there's green foliage on this, but in springtime it will have a pink blossom, and in autumn time it will have a beautiful rust burnt leaf, before it loses its leaves. It is deciduous, it's not evergreen, and then it will flower again in spring. So I thought that this would be a nice kind of screening plant. It would also give me a nice bit of height, and I may attract birds to the front. So when I am looking out the living room, my little friends maybe going in and out the tree. I find the more trees I have, the more birds that I get. On my neighbour's side as well, you may notice some rose shrubs. They also have a magnolia tree, and since these have grown a lot more, I have noticed way more birds in the front. To spill over the edge and add a bit of fullness to the front, I got some Erigeron. Now they did have smaller plants available in the garden centre, but I got these ones that are a bit bigger with the hope that I can maybe divide them maybe next year when they get a bit more established. So I got some Erigeron to dot along the front as my spiller. So I'm hoping that they can spill over the edge. The great thing about Erigeron is they are drought tolerant. This is a plant that you see growing in between cracks in walls and stone. I actually have the other side of the wall, I have some weeds growing in a crack on the path. And I think I'm going to dig out the weeds and stick some Erigeron in because I think it will look prettier. I'm not sure what weed is there. But yeah, I have some cracks in the wall and I think I'm going to see if I can get some Erigeron seedlings to go in there. I did have some Erigeron out the back that I planted last year, but you'll see that the teasels have gone absolutely gigantic, and it's safe to say the Erigeron has been killed by the teasels, not me. The teasels did it. Something I'm loving, and it was a nice surprise, is the Geranium cranesbill, which has some tiny blue flowers. First of all, I love hardy geraniums because they flower pretty much from, in my garden, mid to late May, right up until October. I have a pink one, I can't remember the variety, that was still going in November last year. So some of them, I have the purple, the deep purple one. I find if I cut that back, it will go again. But the pink one, I don't even have to deadhead or cut. It just keeps flowering until like autumn time. So what I loved about the cranesbill one is it seems to be a tall plant. So it's great for the bit of screening. It's giving me a bit of colour. It's giving me height. But it's not, like, I can still see through it. So it's giving me that bit of whimsy. I've heard of people, I think I've seen cranesbill, geranium cranesbill on Gardener's World, but I didn't realise that it is like a taller geranium. Any of the other geraniums in my garden are like the smaller ground cover kind of spills over the edge. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on how that grows in the garden. I also got 3 foxgloves. Now this year, I couldn't tell you the last time I planted a foxglove because they self-seed in the garden, which is great. But please, 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 my viewers, remind me to plant the foxglove seeds that I have in the greenhouse, because if I plant them now, I think they'll flower next year. So they're a biennial. So in the first year, you'll notice the seedling will just have loads of foliage. And then in the second year is when they will grow, produce seed, and then let the seed off. So that's kind of what happens in my garden. But I think I would like to, I suppose, position them and plan. So it's now June. I'm hoping if I sow them and I get some foliage and they germinate, then I can just overwinter them, plant them out, and hopefully they will flower next year and I won't have to buy them. It kind of kills me to buy foxgloves because they're biennial. I like spending my money on perennials because I feel like plant math. We've all heard of girl math on the internet. I believe in plant math. And plant math is when you buy perennials, it's practically an investment. it's practically free because you can divide them, take cuttings, get seed, etc. So yeah, I don't like buying annuals. I prefer to grow them from seed. But anyway, I did get 3 of them. After planting, I gave everything a good water. As you can see, I'm planting on a sunny day, which isn't really ideal, but the temperature isn't high in Ireland at the moment. So I gave the plants a good drink, watered them in well, and I put down a thick layer of mulch. So I'm just using a fine bark, and I have some of that left over from springtime. So I thought, use it up. It's great at keeping the moisture in the soil and also keeping the weeds away, because there's lovely fresh compost in those raised beds, so the weeds will germinate quickly in there. I'm also popping up some bug houses just for a bit of fun. I got these in the orchard. They're the same as the ones that I have in the back garden, and first of all, I hope nobody steals them, but second of all, I just thought they'd look fun in the border, and as things kind of grow around, they'll kind of get enveloped in the plants. So as the hydrangea gets fuller and the Amelanchier, once there's more kind of foliage and everything, they may get kind of swamped in, but that's, I suppose, the point, because I want the bugs to actually use them, but they also look pretty too. I have left a gap on the other side because I do want to put in some rudbeckia, and I want to dot in 1 or 2 dahlias, because I feel like coming into autumn, that will be my colour that will follow through. So I did leave purposely some gaps for those. And I also have some zinnia seedlings in the greenhouse that I'm going to pop in for my colour that will last me through until kind of autumn time. Okay, quick update on the back. First of all, I managed to get my grass to grow back, kind of. Well, no, I think I'm doing pretty well. And this is from, do you remember at all over winter, wet winter, and I was walking on it? So the grass has grown back. So I now need to, let me zoom back. I now need to transition the cut flower bed. So there's going to be loads of annuals going in here. There's already some dahlias grown in here from last year. All of the daffodils and spring foliage in this one need to all be tidied up. Actually, any remaining spring foliage from like tulips and daffodils it's all like dying back now. But over here, nice and lush. But my no-mow patch is looking great. So this is my no-mow patch, and what's in it is a lot of creeping buttercup, some tall grass, and then last year you'll remember that the hydrangea grew, oh not hydrangea, what am I saying? Geranium grew into it and started competing with the creeping buttercup, because the creeping buttercup only flowers now, and unless I cut it, it won't flower again. That's something I noticed last year. So yeah, looking fresh. So I need to plant out all the seedlings. This is another day's work. But yeah, this is how it's looking out the back. And then over here, once I wind up my hose, it is relatively tidy. You would have saw me tidy this up on Thursday's video. I still need to clean this. This is full of algae, so that's for a cleaning video, methinks. But yeah, it's relatively tidy aside from my hose, and I just need to clean my little tent thingy. This thing, what's this called? Parasol? But yeah, it's looking alright. Just a few little transitional tidy jobs for summer. One thing I regret, well, I don't regret them, they're going to be lovely. I didn't realise how tall these things go. These are teasels that I planted from seed, not realising they're biennial, and there's going to be beautiful, you can already see one of the heads on this, and apparently they're amazing for birds, and they look great as dried flowers, and they look great over winter. But I didn't realise they're a good 2 meters tall. So there used to be nasturtiums that self-seeded in here. Nothing has a chance. These guys have just taken over. But I did get some nasturtium seeds when I was at Chelsea. Ah, here's our friend, Mr. Blackbird. Hang on, let's see if he's camera shy today. Yeah, Mr. Blackbird has successfully had So far, one chick. I've seen him with a young female. He's been feeding her. So I remember last year, I think he had 2 or 3 broods. Fair play to him. But he's back in action this year. I also need to clean the greenhouse, but I'm slowly catching up on things. It's been a slow start. If you are new to my channel, or if you haven't been around in a while and you want more garden videos, I have a playlist on my channel that is just for the gardening content. So if you want to see my journey from going from a square patch of grass in the front and the back to my attempt at a cottage garden, then check out the cottage garden playlist. I'll pop a card here and also in the description box as well. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you're new, and like and comment and say hello to the community in the comments section below.